Holiday shopping lists are long, and finding the best deals while still giving thoughtful gifts can be challenging. That's where Amazon comes in. Amazon was just named the lowest-priced online retailer in the U.S. for the 9th consecutive year by Profitero, a third-party analytics and research firm. After analyzing thousands of products, they found Amazon's prices are 14% lower on average, and up to 5% lower than the nearest competitor in key gift categories like electronics and toys. When you're shopping for everyone from your spouse to your second cousin's new baby, those savings really add up. The best part is you don't sacrifice selection for better prices. Amazon offers everything from major brands to unique finds from small businesses, all delivered right to your door. If you're trying to be smart about your holiday budget, and who isn't, visit Amazon.com.
Hey guys, Matt Halleck here, author of The DNA of a Man. If your marriage feels cold, distant, or stuck, no matter how much you try, it may not be because you're just failing at it. It might be because you were trained into the wrong kind of masculinity. The DNA of a Man gives you the kingdom blueprint to become confident, desirable, and rooted in real masculine authority and identity again. Grab it now. Click the link in the description.
What's up, Northbound? Welcome back. A few years ago, I went on an expedition. It was one of the coolest adventures I've ever been on, by far, maybe the number one adventure. And it was to raft the Grand Canyon. And I went with my older two boys and my dad and some other family that were also on the trip. And we had an entire raft, a big giant raft that was ours for, I think it was about 7 days. And we put the boats in at Lee's Ferry. And that is near where we lodged for the first night, which was at the Cliff Dwellers Lodge, which is nearby. And that's a place where you can all rally up and get your gear in order and have dinner and get ready to go on the expedition the next day. And so we got into vans the next day. We went down to Lee's Ferry where we got the boat. We put it in the water after getting all of our safety briefings and getting our food and stuff on the raft. And then we started our 7-day journey down the Grand Canyon. And we went by places like Red Wall Cavern, Phantom Ranch, Bright Angel Trail, the Elves Chasm, Deer Creek, which was an incredible hike, and then past Havasu Creek. And then we got to Whitmore Wash 7 days later, and that's where we got a helicopter and went out and back to the Cliff Dwellers Lodge. Incredible trip. I mean, we were jumping off of big rocks into the water, and it's a total of 277 miles down the Colorado River with over 250 rapids. It's just wild. And it's the kind of adventure where you are definitely taken out of your comfort zone. You are challenged, but at the same time, you're just having a ton of fun and just living. I mean, it is the coolest trip ever. I recommend you do it. If you have any questions about it, just contact me directly. I'll tell you all about it and who to contact. But really, really cool trip. And I remember one night where we stopped to camp, and my cot is right next, like within a foot of the Colorado River. I slept so good that night. But the whole time that we're on this trip, this adventure, this expedition, I'm thinking about the first expedition that went down the Grand Canyon, led by a man named John Wesley Powell. And John Wesley Powell was a soldier, a geologist, a professor, explorer, and he was the director of the U.S. Geological Survey. In 1869, he embarked on the first ever 3-month journey that we did in 7 days. Well, actually, he went a little bit farther than us because he started way up at Green River. But regardless, he started a 3-month journey down the Colorado River. And that would become the first recorded voyage through the Grand Canyon. There were no maps. He was doing this completely without maps. And they didn't have a big rubber raft like we did. They had wooden boats. And nobody knew if those boats were going to make it down those rapids. And some of them did not. And it is a crazy, crazy story. And it's worth going and looking up. You can watch videos online about it. You can also read a book that you can get on Amazon called Down the Great Unknown. And if you're into adventure, that's a great book. And that's the book all about his journey of discovery and tragedy through the Grand Canyon. So I tell you all this to lead to, okay, what do we learn from an explorer, an adventurer, and leader like John Wesley Powell? Well, number one thing we learn is that leaders move with conviction and passion. And he had it. I mean, he had this dream, just like Scott and Shackleton, which we talked about a few episodes back. They had dreams and vision, and they wanted to conquer. In this case, he wanted to conquer the Colorado, which is cool. And I love that. I love adventure like that. And leaders go first. And that's what he was doing, going first. He had no map. Now, for an expedition, here's the only caution I have here. Well, other than going down the Colorado, it is a little dangerous. But for an expedition, that might be necessary to go where there's no maps. But for your organization, it shouldn't be. You need to have a map. You need to have a plan, mission, vision, goals, aligning those with your people to move forward and showing them the map, showing them where your organization is going. So these are two different examples a little bit. I just want to make sure that I make that point. But leaders move with conviction. That's number one. Number two is that reality matters more than comfort. And man, that is so true. Nature, this is why I love going on adventures and going backpacking and rafting and mountain biking. I love it because nature is brutally honest. And adventure is brutally honest with you. It's not going to lie to you. If you jump off a cliff, you're going to get hurt or you're going to die. And when weather comes in, it's coming in. You're going to have to get shelter because the weather is coming in. It is going to show itself to you, and there's nothing you can do about that. I love that. I love how honest nature is. I'm not going to go pet a bear because that bear is going to eat me. They might not eat me, but you know what I'm saying. Nature is honest. And honesty builds trust. And so you don't always want to be comfortable. Sometimes we deny reality. We deny the culture that we're in, or we maybe even deny our own feelings or those kinds of things just to stay comfortable. We can't do that. That's why I love adventure, is it takes you to uncomfortable, and that's where you learn, and that's where you get better. Reality matters more than comfort. Number three, courage is not absent of risk. When you step out and you say, I'm going to do this, and you commit to it, and you take action, there may be risk associated with that. There's risk with starting a new company or a new business, especially restaurant businesses, right? I think the statistic is 70% of them fail. Maybe it's higher than that. The point is when you step out and you take that initiative and you go to build a business or company or organization or new culture, there's risk with it. It's okay. Jump in. There's going to be risk. Be courageous. That's something we learned from Powell. Number four, you have to care about the people or you're going to lose the mission. The entire time, and if you read the story, you'll see how they had to care for the people. Powell had to care for his guys. They're not getting down the Grand Canyon. They're not going to accomplish that. They're not going to draw the map without taking care of each other. And so when you present your plan to your people and you say, this is where we're going, they're going to help you get there and you need to take care of them. Number five, you're going to have to adapt or fail. And that's one of the beautiful things about nature, about being out in God's creation, is that you're going to have to adapt. It's not going to adapt to you. And if you do not adapt, you're going to fail. And lastly, number six, vision is useless without stewardship. Leaders sustain their organization by leading them, looking after them, stewarding them, and you need to be wise in that. Now, if you're going, well, I don't think I can, or I don't have what it takes, or I just don't know. You know, if you're hesitant about leading and you're in a leadership position, first of all, if you're in a leadership position, it's time to lead. So if you're a leader, lead. God designed you for what you need to do now. God wrote it into your DNA, and He designed you to lead. And I left something out of my story about John Wesley Powell. because he rafted in wooden boats the entire Grand Canyon. They didn't have motors, they were rowboats, and he was seriously injured in the Civil War, and he only had one arm. Thanks, everybody. Hey, if you want to learn more, if you want to reach out, please just reach out to me directly. I'd love to help you in leadership, help your team, your organization, or you personally. I'm here for that. Email me directly at chris@go-northbound.com and leave 5 stars and comments and come to our community and maybe comment. Leave a comment on what you thought about this episode or others and tell us something that you're learning at your workplace about leadership. All right. Again, thanks everybody. See ya.
You just listened to another episode from the Northbound Podcast. Thank you for tuning in today. I hope you were encouraged and empowered in leadership. Go lead boldly and humbly. And remember our vision. Elevate your team through Christ-centered leadership. If you want to be a part of our community, just go to go-northbound.com and follow the link and come join us. Follow along with courses and live streams and chats and maybe even join us for an adventure. We'd love to have you. All of those links are in the description below. Thank you again for tuning in. It's been a pleasure. See ya.